Levi was an orphan healer so overpowered that his teammates didn't notice he was healing them and fired him for being useless. Now broke, he decides to open a black market clinic to heal powerful beast girls. But somehow all his clients start thirsting after his sausage. So he wipes them and claps them one by one before Levi became a cheek-piping jigad. He was humiliated by his pal named Corwin, who claimed he grew bored of him and decided to kick him out of his party. The whole thing came as a shocker to Levi because he and Corwin go way back. So when he called Corwin out on it, he ended up getting laughed at. Corwin gave Levi a single gold coin as severance pay and told him he was no longer needed since his party had gotten stronger. Confused, Levi tried to explain that he had been doing plenty for the team, but Corwin laughed him off and told him to scram. Before leaving, he warned Levi never to mention being part of his party, since his origins from the slums might ruin their reputation. And with that, Levi agreed and walked out while the others mocked him. Nearby, a slave trader tried to develop plot with an elven slave, but the girl kicked the buyer's golden jewels before running off. Unfortunately for her, the buyer took his family jewels very seriously and shot her in the foot as payback. When he tried to drag her away, she bit his finger. So, he grew pissed and stabbed her in the gut. While his female colleague criticized him for stabbing the slave, Levi, who witnessed the whole thing, showed up and questioned why the girl was stabbed. But the slave trader told him it was none of his business. When Levi saw that the slave was bound to die, he decided to pay for her with the only coin he had, and the traders agreed, without thinking twice. After the slave traders left, the slave was sure she was going to die, and was convinced when she stopped feeling pain. However, to her shock, she realized that Levi had already healed her. So, she thanked him deeply. She then introduced herself as Arya and felt bad that he had spent his only coin on buying her off, but Levi reassured her that it was fine. Meanwhile, he was dead broke. Arya's stomach growled, so he changed her outfit and took her to a restaurant. There, she happily dug into her food and learned that he had been ousted from his party. As Levi spoke about needing a new source of income, an injured lizardkin staggered into the restaurant and begged for a glass of water. Kale took a good look at him and could tell that he had been shot with a magic gun. The lizardkin confirmed this while he winced in pain, wishing it would stop, but after examining the wound, Levi assured him that everything was going to be fine in no time. Though the gunshot wound was pretty deep, Levi took care of it and restored the hand to normal, leaving the guy completely shocked. Relieved, the lizardkin thanked Levi and gave him a handful of gold coins, then left the restaurant, promising to remember him. Shocked, Levi realized he could get paid for healing people, just like restaurants were paid for serving meals. He quickly made up his mind to open a clinic, but since he had no license, he decided it would have to be an underground clinic. At first, he was hesitant about involving Arya, but she insisted he was her master, so he gave in. Later that night, he took Arya to search for a place to use as their clinic and ended up at an abandoned mansion in the slums. Levi decided it was perfect, but Arya nervously warned him it might be inhabited by a wraith. Persistent, Levi led her inside, and she used light magic to brighten the space. As they explored, a powerful wraith named Celine appeared and tried to attack, but Levi easily repelled her. He flashed back to a time when he and his old party had taken down hundreds of wraiths. He then decided to apologize for invading Celine's privacy, hoping she might let them stay as roommates, but she attacked again, so he put her in her place, and that only pissed her off more. Triggered, she summoned more wraiths to overwhelm him, but calmed down quickly when Levi erased them all with a single spell. Curious, she asked who he was, so Levi simply replied that he was a healer. He then asked her to lease him a room for his clinic, and since she knew he might clap her if she refused, she didn't think twice about letting him stay. The next morning, Levi and Arya arranged the first floor into a makeshift clinic. While Arya worried about getting customers, the lizardkin from earlier, Kale, showed up. He introduced himself and brought his elder sister, Zaina, who revealed an injured arm. Levi quickly identified the decay as the effect of a special poison from a magic gun. And Zaina was impressed, he could tell just by looking. Levi explained that her poisoned hand was nearly dead and needed to be treated carefully. And for that, he charged an outrageous price. Kale immediately protested, but Zaina stopped him. She smirked, calling Levi an oddball for daring to charge the leader of the lizardkin that much. Upon realizing his first official customer was a mafia boss, Levi doubled down, explaining that he didn't plan to get rid of her arm, but to regrow a new one. He also made it clear he wouldn't heal anyone for free, even if they had Sydney Sweeney smokers. Zaina found it hard to believe that any healer in the slums could regrow limbs. But when she agreed to the deal, Levi formed a scalpel out of mana and cut off the decaying arm. To spare her the pain, he numbed it with healing magic, then instantly regrew a brand new limb from scratch. Meanwhile, Celine was secretly hoping the surgery would fail, but her hopes went straight down the drain when Levi pulled it off flawlessly. Impressed, Zaina told him she liked him, promised to send her people to his clinic, and even offered to pay for private treatments in the future. Later that night, Arya made tea for Levi and Celine and asked how Zaina had been injured. Levi concluded it was likely due to the ongoing feud between the lizardkin, orcs, and werewolves. Suddenly, the clinic door burst open, and Lyra, the werewolf leader, barged in with her wolfkin. She declared she came for Levi's life, blaming him for healing the lizard folk, their rivals. She charged at him with an axe, but it shattered against his defense barrier. Levi calmly sent Arya to her room and watched as the werewolves failed to land a hit. Furious, Lyra ordered her men to vandalize the building and tear it apart. When Celine finally had enough, she appeared, ready to curse the wolves into becoming King Nisr every full moon. But Levi stopped her. Terrified, the werewolves instantly apologized for wrecking the clinic, convinced that Levi was some terrifying man who could make an overpowered wraith call him daddy. A few days later, an orc arrived at the clinic, telling Levi that Lura, the head of the orcs, wanted to see him. As soon as Levi learned that Lura had a condition that restricted her from moving, he visited the orc's stronghold to examine her. When he arrived, he realized that Lura already knew about him through her underground network. After telling Levi all that she had heard about him, she asked him to examine her to find out the cause of her confinement. Levi scanned her and detected a mana stone lodged in her lower abdomen, which had a chance of blowing up at any given time. He asked her how it got into her body, and she said she mistook it for a rice ball and ate it. Disappointed, he excused himself, telling her she would be fine as long as she answered nature's call in time. But as he turned to leave, she stopped him, telling him she might explode soon. Despite her condition, her men stood by her, knowing they would go down with her. Surprisingly, she tossed Levi a key to all the fortune she had acquired over the years, demanding that he use it wisely. Levi deliberated for a bit before hurrying back to her. Using his scalpel, he retrieved the mana stone, instantly healed her, and suppressed the explosion with his hands. Afterward, he handed her the key and told her that he believed in the law of equilibrium.